Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bonfire Conversations. Thank you so much for being here. Now, I've been told that in the past couple of episodes, there was some light bouncing off my forehead. Now, I think this apparently created some irritation in the eyes for some of the viewers. So, this became a huge issue to be fixed. Now, we at Bonfire Conversations take this stuff very seriously. So, I sat down with my cinematographer and we had a discussion around this in granular detail. We tried to get to the bottom of this issue. There are a few aspects which we discussed, such as the angle of incidence of light, the point of reflection, the curvature of the surface, which in this case is my forehead, and we did come to a solution for this problem. And I'm proud to say that we found a solution much faster than Microsoft, which ran into some global outage a couple of weeks back. And not just this, the cinematographer that we have actually is planning to use some of our discussion as part of his thesis, which he's going to present before a panel for his PhD. Now, friend, this is something I call intellectual bakwas. So I think enough of this bakwas. Let's get down to the point. Now, today's episode, I'm going to discuss, or rather, we have a guest as well, and we are going to discuss about something which we love and enjoy. That is movies. I think I've been obsessed with movies for as long as I can remember. I think movies, create a different world of their own. If you ask me, movies even provide us an escape from the trials and tribulations of life. Now, be it the character of Geet from Jab We Met, or be it Babura Ganpatrao Apte from Hera Fairy, be it Gandalf the Grey from Lord of the Rings, or Master Yoda from Star Wars, Bruce Wayne from DC, or Peter Parker from Marvel Universe. I have really grown to cherish these characters. Now, I'm somebody who has watched movies in different languages. English and Hindi is a given. Apart from that, I have watched movies in Kannada, Marathi, Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Italian, French, German, and you can name any language. Probably I would have watched. I have watched movies as old as Gone with the Wind, which released in the year 1939. Now, this movie has a runtime of about 4 hours, beats Lagan as well, to as latest as Tamil movie called Maharaja, which released, I think, just 1.5 months back. I have watched movies in different genres, be it thrillers, sci-fi, horror, comedy, drama, you can name it. So considering this obsession with movies, I thought there has to be an episode for discussing movies specifically. And along with that, obviously, for such kind of an episode, we need a guest who is equally obsessed, if not more. I can safely say that today we have a guest with us who definitely fits the bill. Now, I have to tell you guys that this episode on movies is at least about 10 months in the making. Now, the part of the delay is attributable to some tech challenges which I faced, but most of the delay, I would say, is due to the mystery created by our guest for today as to when exactly this episode is going to happen. And me, for one, I have been drowned in this mystery. Now, I can say that, friends, Nikhil ka intezar to 11 mulkon ki police kar rahi thi. But somehow we managed to get to him first. Now, of course, it has not been easy. We had to execute a tactically planned covert operation to get to him. And finally, we were able to get him on this show. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, let's welcome on this show the man, the myth, the legend, Nikhil Chaudhary. So, hello, Nikhil. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Samitra. Hello.
Now, honestly speaking, I was really skeptical whether this show is ever going to see light of the day. But I really have to pinch myself that this is actually happening. But I'm really glad it is. It is fantastic to have you on the show, Nikhil. Thank you so much for being here.
Likewise, Samitra, likewise. But I can tell you that part of it is attributable to the kind of, nervousness that I still am having right now, that I'm live talking about movies. Talking trash about movies is something which we could always have done when we were together in Bangalore. But talking live about it actually gives you kind of, jitters, even though, this is something that we have been discussing for God knows how many years, and these are the movies that we are talking about. We have seen while growing up, so nothing new about it that way. But yes, good to be a part of
I
this.
think only the forum has changed. Only the forum has
Yes,
changed.
that is true. Yes, it has become
Just
more
forum has changed.
civilized, I would say.
So you will
But
be
yes,
civilized for first 10 minutes. Then you'll, I think, show your true colors. I'm sure about that. Now, what I'll
absolutely.
do is I'll just quickly introduce Nikhil for our viewers. Of course, he is not a person who needs an introduction, but still. So, friends, Nikhil is a corporate employee by the day, and he's also vigilante by night. He is also dubbed as the Batman of Kolkata. And today he didn't have any crimes to fight, so he's on the show. So he has made time. So thank you so much, Nikhil.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
So yes, we have a very fantastic topic at hand, which is movies, which obviously both of us are obsessed with. But before we get there, I just have a small disclaimer. Yeah, so I'll just quickly get to that. So disclaimer: during the course of the show, some of the movies might be given a little too much respect, if you know what I mean. Now, this is not a coincidence; it is purposely intended. Any producer finding this as an offense is requested to take a chill pill. If the chill pill does not work and the producer decides to take some legal action, it would be a futile exercise, let me tell you in the beginning itself, because the host may have all the time in the world but does not have any money to pay any type of compensation. However, on the other hand, the guest of the show may not have any time but has all the money in the world to settle any disputes. So, producers are requested to proceed against the guest and not the host. Thank you very much. So, Nikhil, I just thought this is an app disclaimer before we jump in.
Yes, it is. Yeah,
So now you
the
really
chances are
know
that.
the level of the show.
Yes, yes, yes.
What is
I'm
the
getting a
level
hang
that
of it
we
now.
have here?
We're getting a hang of it now.
Yes, I think. Oh my God, we already have started getting comments, Nikhil.
Oh,
One is
okay.
welcome, Nikhil, which is fine. Second one, I am going to come to this comment. So Vishwas, just hold on. I have this comment on the agenda. I'm going to come back to this. So I'll circle back to this. Yes.
Okay.
Anyway, so guys, what we have done is we have created or we have agreed upon some segments. So just to bring in some structure to the show, just like the previous episodes. So yes, Nikhil. So let's jump in. The first segment that we have for discussion is Indian. So obviously, let's
Yes.
start with our own stuff first. So I think Nikhil has one or two movies that he wants to discuss. So Nikhil, yes, take it away. The floor is yours.
See, when it comes to Indian, I can think of like a zillion movie. I think the entire 1 hour slot can be dedicated for this. We have seen so many movies in India in Indian category. But something that our viewers can relate to, and something which is not very old, and something which comes to my mind is Tamasha. Why that
Okay.
movie hits very hard, because something which I easily connect to, in the sense that that movie, and I when I say I easily connect to, I have gone to this movie with a friend, and I still remember that he slept midway, and then he was expecting me to leave with him. He said that what a bullshit movie this is, like, let's leave. And I was actually looking at him like, what is
Mhm.
he talking about? The kind of depth that Imtiaz Ali
Mhm.
actually portrayed in that movie. So I still remember that scene. There are layers of Piyush Mishra into this movie, though he had a very small role.
Mhm.
But the kind of dialogues that he had, and the kind of impact that he was making on in the movie, it's like phenomenal. And I still remember that the kind of screenplay that that movie had, that you are something from outside and still you are compelled to do something which you don't want to. It actually resonates
Okay.
so much with you when you are in that kind of, you relate to that character which is being portrayed by Ranbir Kapoor in the movie. And um, if I look at that movie now, if I can resonate with Deepika also. She acted brilliantly in that movie, because to stay with somebody who is doing what that guy doesn't want to, something in itself is a path to glory. So I believe that the overall movie was a complete package, though may not be for all the audience. Few people didn't like it, few people said that it's very boring, it's very slow. But once you get to understand what that movie was all about, I think it grows on you. So have you seen that movie? On that note, have you seen that movie, or what is your thoughts on this?
I have watched the movie, but I think I fall in the other category of the audience, which is definitely not your category. I watched
Okay.
this movie with a bunch of friends, and all of us probably had the same opinion. This, I mean, how can Imtiaz Ali do something like this? Now, there are a couple of possibilities. Either I was not able to connect to the director's vision, that is one possibility, or
Hmm.
he was not effective in his storytelling. That is another possibility. But somehow
Okay.
I did not find any connect as such with that movie. And I will also tell you that I have watched that movie only once. See, there
Hmm.
are, I agree, some movies that which take multiple viewings to really understand, what is the
Hmm.
director trying to convey. But somehow I couldn't muster courage to watch it the second time. So that is where I stand. So yes, first half was still okay, but second half I was just wondering what is happening here. And see, Indian audiences, paisa to diya to baithna to padega. So I was in that mindset. So we were all sitting there just for that one reason. Now I know this is a movie which you really love, so I will not go into too much of criticism. But I still feel that uh, his the other work of Imtiaz Ali, which could be Jab We Met, even Love Aajkal, even Highway was a pretty good movie. So somehow this didn't really click for me. So do you think a second viewing might change my opinion?
Yeah, I think so because once you look at there are few movies, as you rightly pointed out, that you don't like it when you see it first, and then certainly when you get a context, if somebody talks about it, it gives you a little bit perspective that this is what Imtiaz Ali or the characters wanted to portray in that movie. It becomes a little, kind of, I would say, more clearer in terms of perspective. And I still feel that that movie, there were times that you do not understand what the director is trying to say, but when you go to the end of the movie, you understand slowly and gradually what the movie is all about. Indian audience, and as I as an audience also, with due passage of time, I have matured. I can understand that the content that I used to like maybe
Hmm.
5 years before, I'm not liking it right now. I'm liking a different kind of a genre. I'm liking different sort of a context, storytelling, depth of characters. Maybe not. I like watching nonsense movies also. It's not that tamasha is my favorite genre type of
But the
movie.
taste has evolved now. The taste has
Yes,
evolved.
yes, yeah, yeah. Even in
Yeah, I mean,
nonsense,
there
I
was
would
a
say that the movie nonsense should
okay.
be very, very much nonsense. That to
Yeah, it should be
amuse you.
sophisticated nonsense. It should be
Yeah,
sophisticated
yeah,
nonsense. Now we
absolutely.
have a comment already coming from Vishwas. He says that second half is the best part about that movie. Now this guy was
I
sitting
agree.
with me in the theater, and I remember how many times he cursed the movie. But I think he went back and saw it the second and third time. That is when his opinion has changed, and now he has rated the second part as the best of this movie.
So I'll tell
Yeah,
you, in the
I
second
think
half, there is
he's
a particular in the particular scene. I'll tell you that which hits me and makes the maximum impact is that when Ranbir Kapoor goes to Piyush Mishra, and kind of the
mm,
scene is like kind of full of confusion. You don't, as a viewer,
mm,
you don't understand what is exactly Piyush Mishra saying because he's old, and Ranbir Kapoor is trying to get to the ending of the story that he heard while he was a child. When Piyush Mishra said that it's your story, write it. You are scared, you are buzdil, you're
mm.
coward, and your cowardice
Oh,
is
yeah.
actually protecting you from writing. That thing actually hits you very hard because you
Okay.
are from your context, you are asking other people's that how your ending of the movie should be, and that is something which I think I
Mm.
really connected with.
So I think Vishwas has clarified his position. I loved it in my second watch, but first time it was like a
Yes,
mixed feel for me.
yes, I
And Nikhil,
feel
I
I
think the
connect.
way
I
you
agree
have
with it.
dissected the movie, now I am feeling I'm not really matured enough to understand this kind of stuff. That is the feeling
No,
that
no,
I'm
no.
getting.
I know your
You
taste for
know,
movies. You are
that
you
is
are a
that is
very
on a
good
lighter
critic of
note.
movies.
That is on a lighter note. But yeah, so yes, Tamasha, I think probably I need to have a second viewing to really appreciate the movie.
Yes.
Now, from my side, obviously, I really have. I don't even have to give any. The queue is right behind the movie which I'm going to pick. Oh, now, I was torn between two movies, Dil Chahta and Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara. But the reason I picked ZNMD is because I even love traveling. I'm passionate about traveling. Of course, Dil Chahta also has a road trip to Goa. But ZNMD movie itself is a travel extravaganza. So that is the only reason I'm picking ZNMD over Dil Chahta Hai. Obviously, this is a movie which I've probably seen more than 50 times. I can safely say that. That movie is also there on my phone whenever I'm not doing anything. I have time to kill, I just start watching that movie. I mean, that is a evergreen movie, right from the screenplay of the movie to the casting. I think casting is spot on. Even the
Yeah.
technical values, the cinematography, the locations, and I have to mention the poetry by Javed Akhtar takes the movie to a different level altogether. So I think, yeah, this is a movie which I really love. I have watched it in theater, I think a couple of times, and then more than a 50 plus times after that. Amazing movie. So obviously the concept that way is, very basic concept, very trivial. Three friends going on a road trip, but the way characters have been developed, each of them is struggling with something or the other, and it peels out layers, time to time. So you get to know more about these characters, what are their struggles, what are their dreams, hopes, etc. So yeah, I think it's a very good blend of human emotions. So it has everything. I think it has the friendship, obviously, that is the centerpiece of that movie. But apart from that, it has even in relationship with parents at some point. It also has a bit of romance. It has travel. I think Spain itself is a character in the movie, if I can say that. So yeah, I think all in all, a fantastic package, a very good screenplay, and the direction is really good. It really draws you into the movie, right? And one of my favorite scenes is where Farhan Akhtar chucks the phone out of the car, and then they have this, sort of, suppressed emotions towards each other, especially Farhan Akhtar and
Yeah.
Hrithik Roshan, and then they just vent it out. That scene is brilliant, if you ask me. And of course, each scene where the poetry is narrated by Farhan Akhtar, even those scenes are pretty good. So yeah, ZNMD is a movie which is definitely close to my heart. So that is one movie which I would like to discuss. There is one comment here from Anish. He says same, same. So now I don't know this is exactly for what. I think in Nikhil, your picture's getting stuck. So maybe you can just do something about that.
Yeah. Is
Not
it
sure why that is
is
happening,
it
but yeah,
better now?
yeah, it's slightly better.
Yeah. Just give yeah. Just give me 1 second.
Yes, so yeah, Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara is a movie I had from my end. So Nikhil, shall we go to the next one?
Yes.
Fantastic.
So yes. Now it's is it better now?
Yeah, 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 much better, I guess. See, the problem with technology is we don't really realize the issues at my end or your end.
And
So are
I
you
don't
also
even know
seeing the?
whom is to be blamed, like Microsoft or us or Airtel or Vodafone. I don't even know whom to blame because the kind of
I mean, is my picture
malwares
clear
and
to you or is it patchy? Is my picture clear to you or is it patchy?
it's better now. It's like it was patchy to
Okay,
begin with. Now it's better. Yeah.
okay. So maybe both of us had some issues, technical issues. Anyway,
Yes.
so yeah, moving forward, uh, we'll
One movie
try
that
to
I
get.
would like to discuss about
Hmm,
is Andaz Apna Apna because it's
hmm,
like kind of something which is
correct. I
I don't
was.
know whether it is called a cult classic or I don't know what is called,
It is.
but
It is.
each and every frame of that movie is like phenomenal, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I have to agree with that. And I was about to say that I am again a little undivided between Hera Fairy and Nanda's Apna Apna. But if I have to differentiate these two, no doubt these are comedic gold, both of them. But Hera Fairy is one movie, sorry, Andaz Apna Apna is one movie which I think does not have even one serious moment. If you look at Hera
Yeah,
Fairy, at least there
yeah,
are few moments, where these
yeah,
guys are struggling and they are feeling bad about their lives that they don't have money. There is at least some few serious moments in Hera Fairy. But if you look at
yeah,
Andaz Apna Apna, I think this is the movie where probably the director told the actors, you do just whatever you want. There is no script.
yeah.
This is the scene, just say whatever you want. Not even a single
Yeah,
sad scene in that.
Amir Khan is completely gold in this movie. If you see his,
Yeah,
all the characters are good, but Amir Khan is flawlessly. He's into his skin. He's like he doesn't need to do anything funny. He's funny when he's speaking. He's funny. So
yeah,
and
he's so natural.
yeah, and the biggest surprising thing is that I have seen that movie maybe hundred of times, and I have laughed each and every time I have seen that movie, irrespective of the number of times I've seen it. There are friends of mine who have not seen it at that point in time, and now they when they
Hmm.
watch it, they do
Hmm.
not find it funny. I don't know why,
Yeah.
because we are laughing like anything,
As
and that
yeah,
guy
yeah,
is like
I completely agree.
looking at us and they're saying, why are you laughing? It's such a slapstick comedy. And I'm not able to connect with him as to why he's not laughing or she's not laughing.
No,
So
no,
it's that is
there are people in that
amazing.
category. See, I don't think that it is possible to find one movie which is liked by everyone.
Yeah,
There are
that is
going to be people who will love it. There are going to be people who will probably say it is okay, and there will be people who cannot connect, who might even end up hating the movie. That is bound to happen. Even I know a couple of people who absolutely hated Andaz Apna Apna, but for me it
yeah.
is comedic gold. And there is one scene where both of them are sitting in the bus. They're going to Uti, and then they are just making up stories after stories. They're building castles in the air. No Mehta Textiles.
Yeah,
Oh
Chaudhary
my God,
Enterprise.
that scene. Chaudhary and Sons. And we have Nikhil
Chaudhary
Chaudhary on
Enterprise.
the show. What a coincidence. What a coincidence. So is it yours,
That scene
Chaudhary
is
and
amusing,
Sons,
man.
by this chance?
Amazing. I remember, like,
My God, that scene
many
in the
friends of
bus.
mine, many friends of mine used to take, kind of my case that, oh, Chaudhary Enterprise, Chaudhary Enterprise. So it was a movie that,
Chaudhary and Sons.
yeah, you really crack on it when you meet somebody who have seen it at that point in time and not seeing it as a new movie. So yeah,
And the way Amir Khan says, चौधरी एंड सन लगता है आपका कुछ उधार बाकी है.
देखूंगा देखूंगा.
देखूंगा अकाउंट्स देखूंगा अकाउंट्स देखूंगा. Oh my God.
Imagine
Yeah, we
Shakti
have
Kapoor. Imagine people like in that movie. They have
Crime Master Gogo.
literally.
What a
Oh
character.
my god.
Crime Master Gogo. Gogo ji आपका
You know
घाघरा.
what? I was looking at one podcast, and I saw in that podcast that I forgot the name. Rajkumar Santoshi, right? Rajkumar
Hmm.
Santoshi was
Okay.
saying that his idea was
Hmm.
that instead of Shakti Kapoor, he was about to cast Amrish Puri,
Hmm.
and
Oh, as Crime Master Gogo.
yes, not Crime Master Gogo.
Hmm.
In that, he is actually trying to
Hmm.
make a separate character who is a sibling to
Okay.
Mr. India's Mogambo. It's, I think his name was Togambo or something. He was trying to, and they were trying to portray Amrish Puri as a cousin, he was the cousin of Mr.
Hmm.
India's Gogo. So that
Hmm.
way, he was saying that this
Hmm.
didn't work out because Amrish Puri said that,
Okay.
this is something not matching the character, and ultimately Shakti Kapoor got casted. So that scene
And
was
he is
very amusing.
Mogambo ke bhatija in that. He's Mogambo ke
Yeah, that is
bhatija
Mugambo ka Bhatija.
in that. So I think good improvisation on the
Yeah,
director's
good
part.
improvisation. Absolutely,
Now, Nikhil,
absolutely.
I know we can go on and on about this movie, but we have a
Yeah,
comment here. This comment comes
yeah,
from Anish. He says
yeah,
Three Idiots is a movie I think most people like. Absolutely.
yeah,
I think hands down another classic movie, I would say, which was
yeah,
also box office success. And
yeah.
I think Three Idiots, obviously, see Amir Khan, fantastic actor, no doubt about it. But you have to give some credit to Virus, Veer
Absolutely.
Sahasramurthy. I mean, the way he's played that character, he has given instructions to Govind that all the unproductive tasks should be done when he's listening to opera. My God, what a character!
Yeah, and the Rajkumar Santoshi, what Rajkumar Hanani was at his bloody best. I think it's like the kind of movie that he
Yeah.
has really made. In that is people have started admiring the kind of, if you have talent, the money will come to you directly. So
Hmm.
that is something everybody started
Hmm.
saying after Three Idiots. So really connected with that topic. So I agree. The
Absolutely.
Sanskrit
Excellence का
speech,
पीछा
as
करो.
Anish was saying, the Sanskrit speech that
Yeah.
he's saying,
Oh
Ashli
my
Londa hai
God.
ye.
Ashleil लौंडा है.
One hilarious
The
scene that
best
was.
part is when he describes his farting process in the end in Sanskrit. Some
Yeah.
uttamam dadadata padam. Oh, comedy gold. It's
Yeah, it's
unforgettable.
beautiful.
Unforgettable. I mean, I can't really get into the earlier part of the speech, but the later part, the farting process, top notch. Top notch.
Yeah,
I watched it in theater. I was in splits. I was in
yes,
splits. Oh my God.
same here.
We have one comment which has come in. Now, let me tell you, this is Neha. She's hiding under the mask of Kahani Box. अजब प्रेम की गजब कहानी. Okay. I think this is that Ranbir Kapoor Katrina Kaif movie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That is the movie.
But this, I'm not really sure whether this is. I really remember that only the one song I remember, which had some English opening. It became a huge rage at that point.
Hmm.
Uh, which was that song?
Ah, yeah. I even
Shining
forgot the
in the
name of that
Setting
song.
Sun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
Hone Lag Gaya Hoon. Yeah, that
yeah.
song I remember. But honestly, I don't remember much from that movie. Do you, Nikhil?
No, to be honest, I have seen that movie, but what I remember is a very commercial masala. To be honest, I do not remember that
Yeah,
movie in
exactly.
the
Hmm.
some you just went to the theater, saw it, and forget about it.
Hmm.
That's what I remember.
Yeah, same thing. So sorry, Neha, but unfortunately, none of us
I'm
are
very
able to
sure
tell
Neha
that much.
is after Ranbir and is not after the story. I'm very sure about it because
Quite possible. That's quite possible. Now she has suggested one more movie called Ankur. Now this I have watched, and this I really enjoy with my family as well. So this is a movie from 80s. So this is based on a Shakespeare play. So where we have two brothers who have twins, something like that. So they have two twins basically, and that creates a
okay.
lot of comedic situations that has been adapted for Indian cinema. So that stars Sanjeev Kapoor and Deven Verma. So this is a good movie, but again, I'm not sure how much today's audiences will be able to connect with that. But this is happens to be one of my mom's favorite. So that is how I
Ah,
ended up watching this movie. It's pretty good.
I'm very sure it will be remade someday
Oh, I
with the
think
kind of
somebody remembers Neha saying previous episodes guest. Fantastic. We need viewers with good memory like this. Great.
awesome.
Yes, so I think Nikhil, we have discussed a few movies in the first segment. I know we
Yes.
can go on and on. There are a lot of movies. There are movies like Dangal, again, a fantastic movie. So there is a lot to be
Tumbad.
discussed, but we have other segments. Yeah, Tumbad is another movie. I think,
Yes. So
you
many,
know,
so many.
yeah, I think I have to at least make some mention about Tumbad. The reason is the first time I watched, I didn't really like it that much. But when I watched it for the second time, I really, learned to appreciate that movie. The problem with such movies is when there are no stars, you don't get audiences. That also has become sort of a cult classic. What a screenplay! Completely different story.
Yeah.
The execution, cinematography, top notch, I would say. Yeah. Okay, I think Vishwas somewhere has sort of crystal ball with him. He's already predicting what movies we are going to discuss.
Oh
So
yes,
Vishwas,
he
just
just
hold our
did
horses.
mention
We are getting there. We are getting there.
how any movie talk is not possible
There is
without
a
that.
Yeah, so Anish has one more comment. Golmaal series has good movies. Yeah, I have definitely watched Golmaal 1. So I think you're referring to the new Golmaal with Ajay Devgan because there is one old Golmaal as well. So which starred Omul Parekar. So I think when you say series, I think it is the Ajay Devgan one. First was hilarious. The
Yeah, first
first
one was
Golmaal
really
was
good. Yeah,
hilarious. But
really.
somewhere I think the series lost a little bit of steam, right? Then they started
Yeah,
getting more stars, but it went a
yeah.
little high on content. That's what I felt.
Yeah.
Hera Fairy, obviously, Lalit, you're absolutely right. Hera Fairy. So as I said, I was a little undivided between Hera Fairy and Andaaz Apna Apna, but Baburao Ganpatra Apte, career-defining performance from Paresh Rawal. I mean, what do I say about this? You know,
It's too good.
fantastic.
It's too good.
That actually, I think, made him a legend of the industry. Till then, I think he had a decent career, but this really brought him into the limelight. And after that, he made all this Hangama and all those movies came to him, right? But this was a path breaking move as far as
अरे
comedy
there
is
was a
concerned.
scene in which Akshay Kumar came and said कि गेम है माइंड में बोला कौन सा गेम खेलेगा रे बाबा पड़ोसी
और
बूमा बूम करेगा.
इतनी रात को कौन सा खेल रहे हैं आजू बाजू वाला बूम बूम करेगा दैट एक्सेंट
Oh my god, those are the
ये
dialogues of Hera
कमरा मैंने
Fairy.
नाटक कंपनी को दिया था you can go on and on about this but yeah Lily,
Right.
thanks for bringing it up no doubt and I think
Yes.
probably Jab We Met is another movie we have to mention Kareena Kapoor iconic performance as Geet
Yeah,
I don't think anybody else would have played that role as better as she has.
absolutely.
Definitely, I think this is one another movie which definitely uh, makes the cut, or at least needs a mention. So I think we have
So
discussed a lot about the first segment, which is Bollywood. Now, before
Yeah.
I make transition into the segment number two, I have a small intermittent segment which Nikhil doesn't know about. It is a surprise for him. I call this segment as guest trivia. Now, this is a
Oh my
segment where I
God.
give some information about the guest, which may or may not be true. Now,
Okay.
friend, I must tell you that Nikhil is actually a brand ambassador for a lot of luxury brands, including but not limited to Louis Vuitton, Gucci,
Oh
Armani,
my God.
and most notably, he is a brand ambassador for a Bangladeshi airline called Biman Bangladesh. And there are news reports that after Nikhil flew Biman Bangladesh, the Bangladeshi economy has gone up by about 250 basis points. So yeah, this is the impact Nikhil can have on economies. So I think Vishwas, you are happy that we have brought in Biman Bangladesh. How can I miss that, Nikhil? Just not possible,
Yeah,
man.
absolutely. I still remember this discussion came up when you guys came for my wedding, if I'm not wrong. I think you people, or before that, I'm not very sure. I think this discussion we
No,
had
I
about
think it
Viman
was
Bangladesh
later, I guess. I'm not able to
later, is
put a
it?
pin on exact time when we discussed this, but this is still fresh in my memory.
And I still remember that because when we started going out on to Bangladesh for work, obviously. So at that point in time, we were not sure about the airline, which airline is the safer one, and and that point in time, whatever airline we used to get, so we used to go. So as simple as that. But then we got to know that Biman Bangladesh is prone to accidents, and kind of accidents is hilarious. It has landed once into the pond, and it has happened. It's available on public domain, so it's like something
You
which
gotta be kidding me. But as
I
I said, after you have flown,
seriously,
things have changed over there.
yeah, it
I think
has.
Anish is impressed. You being a brand ambassador, Anish is really impressed. He's saying, oh, ho, ho. I'm really glad that he is not saying, there was a song which
Andaman,
came.
yeah, Vishwas is right. I now remember. We actually discussed this in Andamans, yes.
Yeah,
Havelock,
exactly. This was in
Havelock,
Andaman.
Havelock,
Absolutely,
yes.
absolutely. He is bang on. Yeah,
Yes, that
Anish
is
is hung up on
correct.
this comment that the flight landed in.
Yes, yes, yeah. It's true,
Oh
absolutely
my
true.
God.
To
I think we were
whoever
in
wants to
split
cross
at that point
verify,
when you
please
narrated the
Google.
story.
You'll see an image of Biman Bangladesh on a pond. Actually, that image is there on the internet, so you can see.
Come on, Nikhil, you're the brand ambassador. You're supposed to endorse that product, not
It's
talk
long gone,
shit
sir.
about it.
It's long gone. Life before anything else. So I think I have changed my loyalties pretty fast.
Now, Nikhil, ये segment बीच में आता रहेगा whenever I remember something. Yeah, till then you're safe. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
No
Great.
problem.
So, Nikhil, let's jump into the second segment now. The second segment obviously has to be Hollywood. This is like the natural chronology of things. Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, as far as Hollywood is concerned, again, an ocean just like Indian cinema. Very difficult to pick and choose movies in this. Nikhil, should I start or do you want to begin? The
Please,
choice is
please,
yours.
please, you start. Please, I insist. You please go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay. So now, before we get into sort of sorting movies by directors, there's one movie I definitely have to discuss, which is The Dark Knight. I
Yeah.
mean, come on, the entire Batman trilogy by Christopher Nolan itself is epic, but Dark Knight, hands down, probably the best Batman movie ever. That is my personal verdict.
Yeah.
I mean, see, if you see the trilogy itself, the way Batman has been brought back. I mean, I have seen couple of earlier movies, and they didn't really do any justice to Batman as a character. And some of them actually turned it into humorous, something like a
Yeah.
satire for Batman, which was really bad. But this trilogy sort of, you know, brought that franchise back on track. And the way Christopher Nolan has, brought this Batman character to screen, I think fantastic. The screenplay itself, and obviously Joker. I mean, very rarely you see a movie where the villain actually, I would say, runs neck to neck or even
Yeah.
surpasses the main character, which is the Batman. I mean, come on, it takes a different level of acting to bring that out, right? I think
Absolutely.
Anish says the screenplay, writing, action, and oh god, acting by Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
Really, I've been told
Absolutely.
that
I'm
he
part of
wraps
this.
himself. Yeah, I've been told that he sort of trapped himself in a hotel room with the screenplay, and he rehearsed on and on with that character. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get into the unfortunate incident which happened later on, but he deserved an Oscar for this, and he did get an Oscar. Only unfortunate part is he wasn't really alive to get that one. But
Yeah,
man, his dialogues, if you're good at something, never do it for free. The
yeah.
way he opens his jacket pocket to show all the explosives he has throughout the movie. I mean, the
You're
way
completely
he,
fascinated with that movie. I must have seen it like 6, 7 times in the theaters, and that is the only movie I have seen it actually. I got so fascinated with this entire DC universe after watching Dark Knight. I cannot tell you, because I
Mm,
have started going to whenever there is a party. I used to think that somebody throws me a bat theme party, because I got so fascinated with that character. I
true,
have seen Batman
true.
initially
Mm,
much earlier also, but the kind of
mm,
screenplay, as Anish was mentioning,
mm.
it's phenomenal.
Yeah,
The Heath
phenomenal.
Ledger was out. I don't have any words for to tell you how I felt when I
Phenomenal. And
watched
I
that
think,
film.
absolutely. And I think that movie is rich in every department. The
Yep.
screenplay, direction, I mean, Christopher Nolan is there. Don't get any special mention. But even the technical aspects like background score, Hans Zimmer, oh
Yep.
my God. Background score,
Unbelievable.
the editing, sound design, set design, just top notch. That movie is a complete package. And
Yeah.
there is one more comment coming in again from Anish. I think this seems to be one of his favorite as well. Nolan has some people on chokehold with his movies, man. Even recently with Oppenheimer. Yeah, completely agree.
Yeah. True.
I think this is the appropriate time to break into the director segment.
Yeah.
So I think I'm not sure, Nikhil, whether you have watched. Okay, I think before that we have one more comment coming in from Anish. The ending where the Gordon's saying that he's the hero that we need and not the one we deserve is such a perfect way to end. Couldn't agree
Yeah.
more. I mean, what an
Absolutely.
ending.
And
Only
that
Gordon knows
dialogue,
now.
like that dialogue was very impactful. Yeah.
Yeah, very impactful. No doubt about it. It's
There's
only
one more
Gordon and
dialogue, in that at the end he said that either you die as a hero or you live long enough to become
to
a
see
villain. That
yourself
is also
become a villain.
something.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And in fact,
absolutely.
now people are
Mhm.
using that dialogue for the recent unveiling of Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah,
Yeah, in
yeah,
one of the
yeah.
Comic Cons. Yeah, he's going to play the Doctor Doom in
Doctor
the
Doom.
next
Yes.
movie. I can't wait for that one. That is
Yeah.
probably going to be epic. Yeah.
His
So I
screen
couldn't
presence
agree
is
more.
actually very different. Robert Downey Jr.'s screen
Yeah,
presence is very different. Yeah.
absolutely. Tony Stark. Hmm.
Yes.
So, Nikhil, I want to ask you, Christopher Nolan. So now let's break into this director segments. So with Christopher Nolan, have you watched his first movie called Following?
I have seen that. Yeah, it's a very very good movie. Yeah, like something
Completely
which
different movie.
blows away my. Yeah.
Actually, there are very few people who know that before Following, Christopher Nolan made a about 3 minute short film called Doodlebug.
Okay.
What's that? It is available on YouTube. Though it is just 3 minute short film, your head will be spinning by the end of it. I can guarantee you that. Go and watch on YouTube the short film by Christopher Nolan called Doodlebug. Yeah, very few
Yeah.
people
Okay.
actually know about this.
Hmm.
There is one more comment coming in from Anish. Yeah, he was revealed as Doctor Doom. Disappointed with the casting though. I mean, are you disappointed with his casting? Hmm, probably it looks like that.
Right.
I think we are so used to seeing him as Tony Stark that
Yeah.
probably it's a little difficult to imagine him playing the villain, right? Anyway, time will tell how that. Yeah, he's clarified. Yes, I think only time will tell how effective or not he is as a villain. But I think he's going to do a decent job. That's my gut feeling. Let's wait and watch. So, Nikhil, other movies which come to your mind? I think you wanted to
Inception.
go
I
by
think
directors.
for the Nolan part, it's like if you have seen Inception, still when I dream, I do not know whether I'm dreaming within a dream or it's like just a dream.
Hmm.
So layers of dream, it's something which I got to know after watching Inception, and
Hmm.
you won't believe that when I first watched the movie, I liked it
Hmm.
completely, but I didn't
Hmm.
understand it
Hmm.
fully. So that is the kind of impact that movie had. Like I loved it because Leonardo DiCaprio was there and the cast was fantabulous and the acting and the background score was so good. But at the end of the movie,
Absolutely.
I still had so many questions. I felt that I didn't understand the
True.
movie. Turned out that it's something which is a universal feeling across the globe. There are support groups which have been made to make understand what Nolan was trying to communicate in the movie. But when you watch it again the second time, I don't know whether it is because of the comments that I had seen previously, but when I was watching for the second time, it was so crystal clear in terms of what he was trying to say, and I was like completely, the mind was blown away, and it's like I couldn't understand. The last time I felt like this when I saw Matrix, the first time, and I related that
True.
it could be
True.
something which is true. So that is the kind of movie that he has made, and I saw Oppenheimer as Anish was mentioning that movie's background score and the kind of the character which is being played by the lead actor is I
Yeah.
have no it's Robert Downey Jr. was there in that movie. I found him really good even though for a short span of time. And and
Definitely.
Interstellar, that movie Interstellar was
Yeah.
still you are
I think we already have.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Like I can tell you this much that for a good 20 minutes I still don't understand the movie, but I
Mm.
like it. It is so
The last 20
technical.
minutes.
Yes,
The
it's
last 20
so
minutes.
technical. Time traveling and three-dimensional, four-dimensional, what dimensional. It's something that I tried to read and try to understand, but something which is very complicated. Trust me.
Completely agree. Completely agree. See, Inception, no doubt, a fantastic movie, as is with all Christopher Nolan movies. And Anish says that Interstellar is such an underrated movie. Half of the people drop it in like 30 minutes because they cannot grasp it and the concept. Well, quite
Agree.
possible. Quite
Yes.
possible. And actually, first half an hour sets the tone for the movie,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. And yeah, as you mentioned, last 15 minutes, when I came out, my head was spinning, as it happens with any Christopher Nolan movie. Till then, I was still okay. But I'm wondering what happened in this. Now, here
So
I must point out.
comments. There were comments which were made in that movie to understand, to uh, kind of comprehend what the Christopher Nolan meant with Interstellar. Those comments were equally hard to understand. So even the
Hmm.
comments which were supposed to make it easier to understand the movie, they were equally hard. So I just gave it. Like I understood that 15 minutes I have to live with it. That 15 minutes I will not understand about
Hmm.
time traveling, but I loved the movie any which way. And one more movie which was there, I'm not remember the name, that is based on World War II. Um,
Yeah, that was
I think
Dunkirk. Dunkirk.
Dunkirk. That was a good
Dunkirk, yeah.
movie. I like that movie
That was
as
a
well.
good movie.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere I think not up to the mark with Christopher Nolan standards, but yeah,
Yes.
definitely a
Yeah.
good movie. Now there is one
Right.
movie which I've loved, but I also have complaints, and that is Tenet. I'm not
Yeah.
sure whether you have watched Tenet. So I love that movie. Plus, I have some complaints also because I think this is one movie where Christopher Nolan seems to have taken his audience for granted. It
Yeah.
is such a complicated concept. At least in Inception, Interstellar, step by step, he explains the concept to the viewers. But in
Right.
Tenet, the moment he uses those words, I think some reverse entropy. After that,
Yeah.
what is happening? Oh my god! It is like I'm just admiring the visual effects, the background
Hmm.
score, trying to
Yeah.
understand what is happening, but I'm really struggling. Right
Hmm. Absolutely.
now, Lalit has one movie which he wants to discuss, that is Joker. Now, yes,
Right.
this is one spin-off from the DC universe, but I think Joaquin Phoenix, fantastic performance. What do
Super.
you have to say? Yeah, I mean,
It's
I
like
don't think anybody else would have played Arthur Ashe.
After Heath Ledger, anybody would have played that role is that guy. It's like
Yeah,
phenomenally well. It's like something. If there is a movie
absolutely.
of that Jacqueline Phoenix, if you see, he also acted in that movie in same kind of vigor as crossing the red line or something. I think that movie was with Reese with a spoon. In that movie also, the
Okay.
kind of acting he has done,
Hmm.
it's like it's fantabulous to say the least.
Hmm.
Very good actor. Very good actor.
One movie suggestion, which I think we also had on our mind. These comments come
Yeah.
from Sachin. He's a Shutter Island.
Oh God. So
I
like
think
I
one of
don't know
the
what's
best movie
they're one of the
endings,
best movies. Yep.
best movie endings ever. I mean, the
Yep.
way the movie starts, you're drawn into the story. There is always a mystery surrounding what is happening, and obviously no spoilers here. But the ending, oh, fantastic! It takes you a minute to grasp what exactly is happening. It completely throws you off balance. I feel. You know what
For
happened with
people
you when you
who
saw
have not seen Shutter Island, for people who have not seen Shutter Island, I think we should give spoilers, and that's kind of it's a felony crime that you have not seen
it?
this movie, so you go and watch it.
Come on, Nikhil.
But
Don't be
I'll
don't be
tell
that
you that
brutal. Also.
yeah, but I'll tell you this Shutter Island movie is when I saw that
Hmm.
movie for the first time, I at the end of it,
Hmm.
I had no words because and I would say that
Hmm.
Shutter Island is one of the few movies where I still prefer Hollywood over Bollywood because I know
Hmm.
that the kind of
Okay.
surprise element that you have at the end of the movie, and when you have star cast like
Hmm.
Leonardo DiCaprio, you will not get disappointed because you will get
Hmm.
the worth of your money and time. So that is these are the movies because of which I still believe that Hollywood produces far
Hmm.
better set of movies now rather than if you compare it with commercial cinema
Hmm.
that
Okay.
our Hollywood is inclining towards.
Hmm.
A
Okay.
must watch.
Okay. Hmm. Definitely. And with a director like Martin Scorsese, I mean, what else do you need, right?
He's a brilliant
There is
director, to say
one
the
more
least.
suggestion coming from Anish. Dune is great, both book and movies. Well, book I haven't read. Dune, I have watched the first part. I really loved it. Second part, I'm yet to catch. Please excuse me on that part. I'm a little lagging behind. Second part, I'm yet to watch. Dune, have you watched the first part at least again, or you watched the both of them?
No, unfortunately, I didn't see Dune, and
Okay,
I think it is long pending. Actually, it is there on my list that I need to see,
okay,
but somehow or the other, I'm not getting a chance to see this movie. But
Mhm.
definitely, it is there on my list.
Okay. There's one more which is coming in from Lalit. This is called Red Sparrow. Red Sparrow, I've watched. This is the one with Jennifer
I've seen it.
Lawrence. Yeah,
Yes,
where she gets trained as a spy for the Russian intelligence,
yeah,
and the way they have shown the training, my God, it's horrible. The way
it's
they
horrible,
make
and
eyes over,
it's a good movie.
it's
Yeah,
horrible.
yeah, it's a very good movie.
And I think it is not a movie for everyone. Not everybody can stomach that watching those scenes, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Where
it's a
they are
little
even subject to
disturbing.
some kind of torture and things like that. Yeah, it's just a little disturbing. I would agree with you
Yeah,
on that.
yeah,
Now, Nikhil, before we go ahead, I have an interesting piece of news to share with everyone, including you.
yeah.
Apparently, recently in Delhi, there was a guy dressed as Spider Man and he rode around the streets of Delhi on the bonnet of an SUV. Only in India, ladies and gentlemen. And obviously, somebody complained this to the police and they caught this guy. And more interesting than this incident is the comments which people have on this thread. Some people have said next sequel, Spider-Man jail coming. This is amazing. Somebody else has said Spider-Man failed the escape test because he got caught. This is why Peter Parker left dressing up as Spider-Man. Oh my God.
Oh my
I
god, that
somehow thought
comment section is
this
more
has
fun,
to
I
be
think.
discussed. Yeah, than the actual incident.
Yeah,
Spider-Man also understands India is not for beginners. I mean, some of the
amazing,
comments left by
super.
users are hilarious. So
It
I thought
is.
this has to be mentioned in this segment. Oh my God. Somebody dressed up as Spider Man riding the bonnet of the car only in India. Oh,
That actually a lot of things like this happens, inside it. Somebody must have considered him as a monkey man. That Delhi there was an issue of monkey man, so people might have thought that there is once more nuisance of Spider-Man is something which they cannot digest.
I think we have people in the country who feel, who wake up in the morning and they feel, chalo, aaj kuch tufani karte hain. So you
That's
get
Christopher.
the Spidey suit, you climb
Yeah,
up the bonnet of the car and go around Connaught Circus. Wow.
absolutely.
Amazing. Amazing. So, Nikhil, again, Hollywood, lot to discuss. We have directors like Martin Scorsese, we have Christopher
Yep.
Nolan, we have, and I think all Tom Hanks movies,
Oh
whether it be
yeah.
Forrest Gump, Castaway. whether it is
The
Saving Private
Terminal,
Ryan, I think The Terminal. I think all
Captain
of the
Phillips.
Tom Hanks movies are right up there. Captain Phillips.
Yeah,
There is even Philadelphia, for him, for
Philadelphia.
which he won the first
Oh my
Oscar.
God, I saw that movie again sometime back when I was traveling.
Hmm.
I saw that movie again. I saw the entire movie. Like I didn't even
Hmm.
miss one single scene of that movie. I
Okay.
loved that, and
Yeah.
special mention because to Denzel Washington was
Hmm.
also in that
Denzel
movie because
Washington, yeah,
yeah,
who plays his
he
attorney in the movie.
actually tell me as I'm a 2 year old. That dialogue is so got so famous in the legal
Yeah,
fraternity. Tell me that as if I'm a ten
definitely.
year old. Yeah,
As if I'm a 2 year old. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
2 year old. Yeah.
Totally. I think we'll take one last movie. This is from Lalit, Gravity. This is a
Yeah.
theater experience. This I've
Yes.
watched. I was fortunate enough to watch this in IMAX in
Max
Bangalore.
Max. Yes.
My God, what an experience with 3D. I think this is a movie where 3D does complete justice. The
Right.
background score, the entire concept, of a satellite getting exploded and then the debris coming and hitting the International Space Station. Fantastic concept, mind blowing visual effects. I mean, yes, all
Right.
Christopher Nolan movies have that, but Gravity, I think visual effects top class, just top
If
class.
I place it correctly,
This
I
is
think this is George Clooney and this lady
yes, Sandra
Sandra
Bullock.
Bullock. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You're bang on. Okay, I think the list goes on. Lalit, I think we are running short on time. We have a couple of other segments. He has also mentioned Martian, a good movie of Matt Damon, again in the sci-fi segment. So yes,
Yes.
Lalit, we appreciate your contribution, but we are a little running short on time. We have a couple of other segments to cover. Now, next segment, which is coming up, which we call cringe segment. That is the next segment that we have. So here we are going to discuss a few movies which can be really embarrassing, awkward. Somebody can even feel why these movies even exist. Yeah. So Nikhil, let's get down to it. Cringe segment. Now, first suggestion comes from Nikhil. This is one movie which he wants to discuss. That movie, ladies and gentlemen, is Gunda, which stars
So
Mithun
first of
Chakrabarti.
all, it's high time that we should see this movie with utmost respect because it commands 7.4 on IMDb. Mukesh Rishi
This
is getting yes, it's
okay, wait.
7.4.
Sorry to stop you short. It is 7.4 on IMDb. Are you kidding me?
Yes, and I'm
Oh
not.
my
It's
God.
7.4 on IMDb, and this is a
Holy
kind of
shit.
cringe. Just because of this cringe fest, now Mukesh Rishi is getting cast in that unboxing advertisements of mobile phones and whatnot. You won't
Oh my
believe
God.
this
It's made
movie.
somebody's career.
Yes, and this movie came to the fore because of only one thing, which is pretentious movie reviews, where the people who brought this
Yes.
movie into the fore, they actually tried to showcase what kind of a movie is this. So if you see this movie, technically it is Ghatak
Hmm.
on steroids. You know what happens with this movie is you have the same plot that there is a Don. He is prejudiced in such a way that he wants to take revenge, and then eventually the actor comes out as a better person and then kills everyone. So this is something which is a story plot with almost thousands and zillions of movies that we have in Bollywood. What actually is
Now,
very
Nikhil, to
different about this movie?
add to this, we have a comment from Anish. Mera naam hai Bulla. This is the punchline of that character. Of course,
So
now
the punch,
before you continue,
yeah, please,
before you continue,
yeah.
I have not watched the movie. I have only watched pretentious movie reviews by Kanan and Biswa, and
Oh my
I
god,
think
that
I
was
had it. I did
hilarious.
not have the courage to watch the entire movie, but yeah, yeah. Please continue, Nikhil.
So you won't believe the kind of names that they have used in the movie. So there is a Don whose name is Bulla, which he keeps on saying, "My name is Bulla, my naam is Bulla, mera naam hai Bulla."
There is some chutti also, right?
Yes,
Shakti
yes.
Kapoor
So
with
he
rubber band
actually
action
wants to take over
ponytails.
Bombay from a earlier Don. His name was Lambu Atta, you know, and his brother's name is I think Chutia. He's like that was the name of
Shakti
Bulla's
Kapoor, who literally has
brother.
ponytails in the movie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you won't believe the kind of
Oh my god.
screenplay that they have given that is something which is he's an important in the movie. And Bulla arranges something to cure him, and that they are explicitly talking about it in rhymes. They are
Nikhil,
talking as
how
if
can you discuss this movie with a straight face? I'm not able to understand this.
I have seen it so many times. You won't believe. I have seen it so many times. The snippets of it keeps coming, and I still cannot believe that I see it every time it comes. And
Hmm.
that is the thing about cringe. I think you start liking it after a point. It's so cringe that you actually want to
Hmm.
see and go to the end of it and say, "Yaar, the cringy." That is the kind of pull this movie has, and I believe that
Hmm.
if you have not seen
True.
it, go
Hmm.
watch it. The kind of movie this is, it will compel you to be, it will make you you'll be a big time fan of this movie. That's all I can say. But yeah, and as I said, this guy Bulla is, you will give the due credit this guy deserves. It's too good. The dialogues, the characters, the names, the kind of
Nikhil, if you
story that they
remember,
put into that movie.
may I point out, you have not spoken this much even about Batman. And you're
I
going on
agree.
and on about Bulla.
That's a
I mean,
that's the thing about cringe,
grave
that's the thing
injustice.
about cringe. So good movies, you can talk so much so that this is a good movie, they have really acted good. The thing about cringe is you can actually go on and on, because it is each and every part is so cringe. I cannot tell
Yeah,
you.
agree.
Your
So,
show is something like,
Batman
which we
getting
cannot
more.
discuss openly about everything, but otherwise there are scenes I
True,
would have
true.
discussed. Hilarious.
Hmm. Hmm. So, Batman getting more screen time than, sorry, Bulla getting more screen time than Batman.
Well deserved.
What has
Well
the
deserved,
world
I would say.
come to? Anish
Yes.
has one more, I think, Hollywood movies, only one or two lines. Gunda, a whole segment. So I think we have one more viewer who appreciates cringe, like you do, especially. Even I do. So that brings me to my second movie. Of course, may not be that cringe as Bulla, but yeah, this is Hollywood cringe. So my pick is a
Sophisticated.
movie called, yeah, my pick is a movie called You Don't Mess with the Zone. Oh my God. I can't even begin. So let me tell you, there is a scene in the movie where Adam Sandler, who is the protagonist, he tosses a fish in the air and he catches that fish in his bum. Yes, that is the level of cringe that we have. He works in a salon and he prefers giving treatment only to old women. Ah, I think the poster itself gives you a cue of what to expect from his movie. Every scene in this movie is cringe inducing to the core. Now, don't ask me why I watched this movie. See, when you are staying in the guy's hostel, you have to just watch whatever is playing. You don't have much say. The guy who has the remote control is the king. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. That is the only reason I had to sit through this entire debacle of a movie, a complete disaster, I would say. But I have couple of friends who go gaga over this movie. I'm like, how can you like stuff like this? Uh, what I can say from my side is 70% of this movie is horseshit, and the balance 30% is bullshit. That is all I will say about this movie. People who are interested, please go and watch. If you have 2 hours to kill and you have an additional brain to spare, be my guest. Go and watch. Don't mess with the Zohan. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, looks like Anish has seen this movie. I think this is for don't mess with the Zohan. I think this is for that movie. I still remember. I can't believe I sat through this entire movie. Now, just to add,
It
if
was
you are
fun. I
looking
think
for,
Adam Slander was good in this movie. I believe. I liked this movie. I've
is
seen it. It's good.
okay,
But I think
let us
I am into cringe, so I would not say anything. I think I am kind of a tamasha come cringe guy.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. Even I have different genres. I can oscillate between worst to good. That it happens even with me. In this segment, I can say if somebody wants to watch, I would not exactly suggest, but go and check out this movie called Robin Hood: Men in Tights. This is also cringe. Let me tell you, this is a proper parody on the character of Robin Hood, but it is hilarious. Trust me, it's a proper parody, cringe, but completely hilarious. Now, don't ask me why I know this movie, but I just know. Yeah. So, Nikhil, if you are into cringe, go and watch Robin Hood Men in Tights. You will
Yes,
not
I have
regret
not
it.
seen. I'll definitely I'll see this. I've
Just
not
to tell
seen. I'll
you, there
definitely
is
see this.
once there is one scene in the movie where there is a blind guy, okay, and something happens and he gets his vision back, okay. So he becomes so happy that he starts running around in the forest. He goes and hits a tree and again goes blind. So, so go and watch Robin Hood Men in Tights. I think you will enjoy this one.
Yeah,
Okay, there is
absolutely.
one comment which has come in from Anish. And he says, I love this movie for how cringy and fun it is. The parody was good. Yeah, I completely agree. Completely agree. They have taken this concept of Robin Hood and turned him into a caricature of sorts. But yeah, very well made movie, hilarious situations, completely cringe, but I enjoyed it. So yeah, this is what we have in the cringe segment. Unless we have any viewers who have anything to contribute to this. Now coming to probably the last segment that we have. Nikhil, I don't know whether you have realized we have already hit 1 hour mark. Can you
Yep.
believe
I
that?
thought I was very sure that we'll cross that 1 hour mark because the
Hmm.
movie is the we have picked is
Hmm.
very difficult
There
to
is one more
complete.
comment which has come in from Anish. Hangover. Now, this I wouldn't say cringe. This is proper comedy. The
Proper
entire
comedy.
series,
Yes.
Hangover One, I think, is right up there. One of the best comedies ever, no doubt about it. Of course, two also was good, but people told me three don't watch it. So I've stayed away because I didn't want one movie to spoil the franchise for me. But a Hangover, one scene I distinctly remember, two scenes rather. One is when Zach enters the bathroom and spots a tiger in the bathroom. Oh, what a scene that is! He once starts peeing and realizes that he's actually seen a tiger. That is
Yeah,
one.
I remember that.
The second, when they open the bonnet of the car, this Chinese dude jumps out from nowhere.
I
My
remember.
God. Oh,
And that Chinese
fantastic.
guy was damn funny. That Chinese guy was also very
Damn
funny.
funny. Yeah. What a character. What a
What a character.
character. Hangover 1, fantastic. 2 was also good. 3, I
Yeah.
have stayed away from it because most people told me don't watch it, it will spoil the franchise for you. Anish also says, come on, Alan got on my nerves. I mean, come on. Everyone has played their part really well. I think Alan also played his character really well. That's what I would say. But no
Yeah.
doubt, Zach was the show stealer.
He stole the show completely. And the
Yeah.
best part, when the movie is coming to an end, there was a
Hmm.
song where you have Mike Tyson also and all these characters, and there's a song
Yeah, that
that
is the track by
I take you
Florida.
to a
And
lollipop and take you to a candy shop. That song, if you
yeah.
remember, it
Oh,
was such
was it
a
that?
funny. Yeah, yeah. In the first part,
Are
when
you saying in
Hangover
the
1
end?
was getting over. Yeah, yeah, in the end,
When the credits
I'll take you
roll,
to a candy
so
shop.
what exactly happened? No, no, no. That was by Florida. The track is by Florida. I'll tell you. You spin my head right round. That was the track.
That song is there. That
Yes.
song is there as a
Mm,
title track. Yes, when they are
mm,
seeing the pictures together,
mm.
right? That is a perfect
Yeah,
song.
yeah, yeah.
But before
Correct.
that, there was a wedding, right? The wedding which was happening. I forgot the name of
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. Heather Graham. Heather Graham.
yes, yes. The singer was singing, I'll take you
Yes,
to a candy shop. And
yes.
everybody was looking at him, what the hell is he singing and all that. So that was a good part, good way to end the
Yeah,
movie.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely. I think even Anish probably enjoyed that song. Yeah, even he's impressed by the Chinese guy. Fantastic work, no doubt about it.
Ken
And
Jeong.
Nikhil,
Yes, he was acting.
before I forget, I have to discuss one incident which happened. Yeah, now Nikhil and me worked in the same company for a few years. There is one incident which happened, which I think I have to mention here. Not directly connected to movies, but indirectly, yes. Now, back then, I had a hard drive with 512 GB capacity, which had a huge collection of movies and TV shows, things like that. I was looking for an upgrade. I wanted to upgrade it to 1 TB, and I was looking for a buyer for this hard drive. I didn't have to look very far. We have a mutual friend of ours who agreed to buy this hard drive. So let's call her the one who should not be named. So this one who should not be named is actually more dangerous than Lord Voldemort himself. But yeah, this person who should not be named, she agreed to buy this hard drive from me. And this is a woman who drives a very hard bargain. So she, ensured that I reduced the price and also took my entire movie collection. But the transaction got concluded. I handed over the hard drive to her. I got my money as well. But the moment she got hold of that hard drive, our friend here, Nikhil, walks up to her and says, "Can I have this hard disk for the weekend? I'll just copy some stuff and get the hard disk back on Monday." Now I was there. She was very skeptical of handing over the hard drive to Nikhil, but reluctantly, she gave the hard drive to him and specifically mentioned, "Please Monday ko वापस लेके आना." And on now cut to Monday, Nikhil comes back and announces that he has lost this hard drive. He said that it slipped out of his pocket when he was driving. Oh my God, her face! I cannot forget. But I must add,
One scary
Nikhil was.
episode which happened, I still remember.
But I must
And
add
it
that Nikhil
was,
was really benevolent enough to replace that 512 GB hard drive which he lost with a 1 TB one. That also I specifically
yes.
remember. So Nikhil has also done a lot of charitable activities.
Not that I had
Sometimes
too much of an
post.
option, as you rightly pointed out. She was the goon of Madhya Pradesh, so it's like basically it's impossible to take away anything from her after that. I
As I
had to,
said, more dangerous than Lord Voldemort.
yeah,
So Nikhil, I think, realized that his life is at stake. So replaced the hard
yeah,
drive quickly with a 1 TB one and somehow got away with that.
true.
Ah, Anish mentions he is also planning to get a hard drive. Okay, that's good. It's a good investment. In
Do
fact, I
secure
have
it,
a
brother.
collection of, yeah, yeah. Even I have a collection of movies and TV series as well. Yeah, so it's a good investment. But don't hand it over to guys like Nikhil. There is no guarantee of hard drive will come back ever.
That's
Okay, sorry,
that is
Nikhil, I
like
couldn't help
10 years. That 10 years back, I've become very responsible now.
it. Yeah, but shit happens. You can't help it sometimes, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we come to, I think, what we have is the last segment. Just give me one moment. I think last segment that we have is what we call out of the box movies. So before this, we have discussed absolute cringe. So now we have movies completely on the other end of the spectrum. Something which defy normal storytelling. The story itself could be completely different, which we have never seen before. So we thought we should have a separate segment, something out of the box. Now I know most of the Christopher Nolan movies will get covered here, but keeping that aside, there are some movies which require a special mention. So starting with, we have a pick by Nikhil, which is I think a recent movie called Maharaja. This is a Tamil movie. So yes, Nikhil. So this is your pick for out of the box, one of the picks.
Yep. I can tell you this much that definitely we are not going to give any spoilers for this movie. But when I
Absolutely.
first saw this movie, I understood why Vijay Sethupathi is the king of South Indian movies,
Hmm. Hmm.
and the kind of storyline that they have made, it will blow your mind. I mean, the kind of they actually started off as if it is a
Hmm.
very casual movie. They are talking about things which you will say that you can
Hmm.
go to a washroom and come back and you will still feel that the movie is continuing in the same pace.
Yeah,
But
probably
when
not
the
going
movie,
anywhere.
yes, it probably not going anywhere. But when they actually conclude the movie, you will actually feel you feel a kind of I cannot put words to what I felt that time. There's a
Hmm.
chill in the spine, definitely. There's a melancholy frenzy that I felt, that what is happening, how can it happen, and how can they show something like this. It's
Hmm.
something which I hands down that this is one of the best releases of
Hmm.
in our India, so far as Netflix is concerned. I
Hmm.
don't think any movie better than this is going to come this year. That is what I feel, and go and
I
watch
mean,
it.
I
It
would
will
agree.
actually blow your mind.
Yeah, thanks to you, I got this movie quite recently. I think just a couple of days back. And as you mentioned, initially, no, it starts with a very, very standard premise or some very normal premise, and you feel that probably the story is not going anywhere. And
Yeah.
as you enter the second half, the mystery deepens. And again, not giving away too much, but The end, I would say, is mind blowing and devastating at the same time. I think Nikhil probably would agree on that. Again, no spoilers to be
Yeah.
given, but it just blew my mind how the story connects, and it just leaves you devastated. Oh my
Mm.
god! So yes, Maharaja definitely a fantastic thriller, but not a run of the mill thriller. Completely
Yeah.
different. It's a crime thriller, obviously, but as you said, screenplay completely different, very well executed, and Vijay Sethupathi, fantastic, just brilliant, right?
One more
Yes, we
movie,
have a
like
couple of comments.
just not like this, but something which you can, if, after watching this, obviously, one more movie you can see is Irata. It is there on Netflix. It That movie is also very very good. It's like you will feel that the kind of build up is more or less the same, and the ending is
Okay.
that takes away the entire thing. So Maharaja definitely
Hmm.
one, and then if you want to watch something like that again, you can watch Irata on
Hmm.
Netflix.
Irata. Okay, this is
Yeah.
a movie I have not seen. We have a couple of comments waiting. I'll get that. I'll get to
Yeah.
them. But before that, just quickly from my end, there is one movie which I have to discuss in Out of the Box. So there is a movie called Buried. Now, actually, honestly speaking, there was a movie called Phone Booth, which is just shot in and around a phone booth, very restricted area, and it left me mind blown. How can they develop a screenplay which moves back and forth just around this phone booth on a street? There is no other scene, any other location in that movie. And then I watched this movie called Buried. The entire movie is shot in a coffin. I mean, the basic premise is there is a journalist somewhere in the Middle East, and when he wakes up, he's inside a coffin. He doesn't know where exactly he has been buried. He has probably just a couple of items at his disposal. There is a cell phone and probably a lighter, if I remember correctly. And the balance movie is, his survival struggle, how he manages to or not manage to survive, how does he try to come out of the situation. I'm sure the director had a lot of challenges here because the entire screenplay revolves around this box. There is not a single scene outside this box. I mean, I can't imagine a screenplay being developed like that. Even the cinematographer would have had a lot of challenges, the camera setup, having sufficient lighting inside. But I think the director, cinematographer, even the actor Ryan Reynolds, I think they have done a fantastic job. Very crisp runtime. I think it is under 1.5 hours. So this is one movie I have to discuss in Out of the Box. So Nikhil, I think you have also watched this movie, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The ending, I couldn't believe that, when the ending came, I was so disappointed. In the sense, it
Again,
was so
I
good.
think mind
It
blowing,
was
right?
so good that I got disappointed. Oh, what the hell. So it's like
Yeah.
something which is a very, very good movie. Definitely you should watch it if you have not seen. And as
Mm.
Reynolds himself said that this is one of the most challenging movies he has done. And, he got
Ever
hurt
made.
also, I think, while he was filming it. So phenomenal
Oh, is it?
movie. Just go and watch. Yeah, yeah. He got hurt because the kind of, as you mentioned, that screenplay and everything was so challenging. So while
Yeah.
acting, he got hurt while shooting for this movie.
Mm. So kind of understandable. It's a very compact space. You are stuck in a box, right?
Yeah.
Very compact space, very difficult to act. I just
Yeah.
quickly will scan through a few comments. There is one comment which has come from Manish. So he says the pianist. Now I probably wouldn't say this is out of the box. This is one of the Holocaust movies. So if I'm not wrong, this is the one, where again, this is from World War II,
Yeah.
and the Nazi, how they treated the Jews, etc. And it is about
Yeah.
the survival story of this pianist. It's a fantastic movie, no doubt about it. I'm not sure if this is suitable for out of the box. So in that same segment, Holocaust movies, there are plenty of them. Schindler's List is another movie which comes to my mind, directed by Steven Spielberg, one of the most celebrated directors of all time. There is one more movie which Anish has mentioned is Grand Budapest. I think it is the Grand Budapest Hotel, probably.
Yeah,
Nikhil,
that
have
is
you
a
watched?
movie. Yes.
Have you
Yeah.
heard about
I have
this?
seen that. The Grand Budapest Hotel. Yes, I've seen this movie.
Hmm. Okay.
I cannot place the exact storyline, but yes, I've definitely seen
I
this
think
movie.
next comment is from Preksha. I think this is Nikhil for probably for you. I don't know in
And
what
this
context.
the smiley face is because all thanks to you when you mentioned that I've lost a heart rate, so I have to listen
Heart
to that.
rate. Oh,
Yeah, yeah. That thing
I
I'm
hope
getting
you're
at
not
night
in
for sure.
any kind of trouble. I hope
Yeah.
I'm not put in any sort of trouble. with this one.
No, no.
Now, this is
But
a
that thing
comment
is
which
definitely coming up.
Hmm. This is a comment which comes from my sister. So she says Kantara. So Nikhil, have you watched Kantara?
I love that movie. I love that movie because
Yeah,
of
same
the
here.
kind of, yeah, yeah. It's beautiful. It's the kind of thing that they have shown that if you believe in something that
Hmm.
is valuable to you, whether it happens or not, it's something a different story altogether. And the kind of
Absolutely. I
acting that
think
guy has done, I forgot the name of that actor, but what
Rishabh
acting?
Shetty.
Rishabh Shetty. The kind of acting he has done,
Yeah,
unbelievable.
acting is top notch, especially
Yeah,
in the end. Those
yeah.
15-20 minutes, I think, is out of the world acting.
Goosebumps. You get actually goosebumps.
Goosebumps, goosebumps.
Yeah,
And that is a theater experience. That movie is
yeah,
a theater
absolutely,
experience.
absolutely.
We have few more movies here. Lalit Patel says The Creator. Now, this is a sci-fi movie which I have watched. Yeah, this can be put in out of the box. This is more on artificial intelligence. This is a good movie. Definitely a decent one. You can definitely watch that, Nikhil.
Yeah, I
We
should. I
have,
will.
yeah,
I
Anish
will
has
definitely.
confirmed that this is Grand Budapest Hotel. Anish has confirmed on that. There's one more called Charlie. I think this is the Kannada movie which came out. May not exactly be out of the box, but this can be put in the category of drama movies. So this is about the bond between human beings and the dog. Definitely a very emotional movie, a fantastic screenplay, good acting as well. Yeah, so I think this can be put in the category of drama, not so much in
Yeah.
out of the box category. There's one more comment coming in from Anish. Avengers Infinity War, the only movie where heroes lost.
And the
Yeah,
only movie that I went at 7 o'clock in the theaters to see because I didn't get any ticket whatsoever for any of the time, and I saw it
but
alone for the first time.
was it Infinity War or was it Endgame? I remember
Endgame.
you
It was
mentioned
Endgame,
Endgame.
but it was Endgame, but Infinity War was equally. I saw it with friends,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
luckily I got the ticket that time. But Endgame was
Hmm.
I didn't get the ticket. I loved
Hmm.
the Infinities, like Avengers
But yeah,
entire
this is
series
where
is something which
50%
people
of the
were
population
crying.
gets wiped out.
Yeah,
50% of the population gets wiped out because of the great Thanos.
and somehow when you think about it, you might connect with it. You know that he was so fair. He's saying that he's taking away half of the population. That may include him also. I would say he's right.
Yes.
No?
Yeah.
Take away
He's
half of the
right to some
population.
extent. He's right to
Fair
some
and
extent.
square.
Completely agree. Fair and square. Completely agree. No complaints. Lalit's clarified the one with Rakshit Shetty. Yeah, yeah. So that is the one, the Charlie movie, I think. I think it is called 777 Charlie. So that is the movie you're referring
Yes.
to, the one with the dog.
Yeah.
Fantastic movie. I think it is worth watching, no doubt about it. Now I have a couple of movies I have to make a reference in out of the box segment. There is a movie. Yeah, I think this we forgot, Nikhil.
Oh my
There is
God.
this
This is
Anurag Kashyap movie
it's
called
not for the faint. Not for the faint-hearted. Not for the faint-hearted.
Not for the
You'll
faint-hearted. I totally agree. Not for the faint-hearted. I mean, initially
you
when you
will.
start watching this, yeah, you expect some like something like a deep mystery or web of secrets
Yeah.
happening, and the end it just leaves you floored. I'm, I mean, I don't want to give out any spoilers, but there is such a simple explanation, right?
Yeah.
My God,
It was a
fantastic
brilliant movie. Like,
direction.
Anurag Kashyap. That's
Mm.
why Anurag Kashyap is Anurag
Yeah.
Kashyap. You know that way the kind of movies he makes. One of the
And now that
brilliant
we have
movies.
absolutely, and now that we have brought up Anurag Kashyap, we have to mention Gangs of Wasseypur.
Gangs of Wasseypur.
Doesn't fall in out of the box. Doesn't fall in out of the box, but has to be mentioned. Yeah,
Yeah.
cult,
It
cult
doesn't fit
classic.
in the main streamline. Also, it is kind of different only.
Yes,
Not out
and
of
it's
the box, but different.
unfortunate that movies did not have that much buzz. I did not watch it in theater.
What are you saying? I've
I
seen that movie.
regretted it. You watched it
Oh,
in theater?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
you're a
I've
lucky
seen that.
guy. I missed watching it in theater. बाप का दादा का सबका बदला लेगा तेरा फैजलवा.
Nawazuddin Siddiqui
Iconic,
was iconic.
iconic, iconic.
In the
तुमसे ना
second
हो
part,
पाए.
that
That is the
tangent and
second.
perpendicular. Yeah, yeah. Tumse na ho paye.
Oh yeah, tangent and perpendicular. What characters, man? Tangent मारा नहीं,
There's a
perpendicular मारा.
well, a scene that he calls it the tangent calls it perpendicular and says, "Hey, tangent, 5,000 रुपए कमाना है क्या?" It's the kind of smaller dialogues. And in the first part, you have Manoj Bajpayee
Absolutely.
saying कि इतना बम मारेंगे,
Is
धुआं हो जाएगा. It's like those dialogues are
iconic,
like
iconic.
very,
definitely.
Amazing.
Actually, Anurag Kashyap has one more movie with Nawazuddin Siddiqui. I'm not able to recollect the name. It is about a serial killer. Very so a lot of
Ah,
people have missed that movie. Oh
I'll
my,
tell you.
what a movie!
Raman Raghav though is a different. He's
Raman
like
Raghav. Ragaman, that is the
Raman.
one. Raman Raghav. My
There's a scene
goodness.
in that he sits with a some that
Yeah,
shovel
something like
and
a pipe.
yeah,
Something.
pipe,
Oh,
and
struggle,
he
struggle.
waits he waits for his victim to come, and then he will hit it, and he's sitting like this.
Yeah, that's a pipe, something like that. Some instrument.
Pipe.
I
Yeah,
thought you
yeah.
were referring to that scene where he has to survive. He has to go hide in a gutter for
Hmm.
which he has to carry a pipe inside for breathing.
Ah, that I
One
don't I
scene
can't
like that.
recall which one is it. Yes, yes,
Oh,
yes. That is also there.
terrible, terrible. It's a harrowing
Yeah.
experience to sit through that scene itself. Now, Lalit has also brought up one more called Asur. I think, Nikhil, we have to probably do a sequel of this. We have to specifically
Yes.
discuss web series and TV
Yes.
series because there is
We
so much to
will.
discuss in movies itself. So I think
Yep.
Lalit will park this for later. We'll definitely try to have a sequel of this to have discussions only on TV shows and web series. Yeah, Nikhil, I think we should do that.
Yes.
There is so much to
Absolutely.
discuss. I don't know why I'm still displaying cringe here. This should have long gone to out of the box. Uh,
Because it's cringe.
yeah.
It's not. It doesn't want to go from your mind.
Gunda, my goodness. Yeah, so before I forget, I have to make a passing reference for a couple of other out of the box movies. One of them is a movie called Coherence. Now, again, brilliant screenplay. This is about a group of friends who gather for dinner one night, and there is a supernatural event which happens. Not supernatural, I think it is a celestial event which happens, and a comet passes by Earth. It does not collide, but passes by, which causes, I think, a lot of unusual activity on Earth. So that is the basic premise. So I wouldn't really spoil this movie for people what exactly happens after this, but brilliant screenplay, completely out of the box concept. That is one. There's one more movie called Pie. This is a black and white movie, though not from the 60s or 70s. This is from the 90s, very much when color cinema was in existence, but that the director has chosen to make it in black and white. This is about a brilliant mathematician who believes that every element in the universe has some mathematical patterns, and he goes nuts finding those mathematical patterns. He looks at trees, tries to find some mathematical patterns. He looks at the ground, tries to find some mathematical patterns. So it's about a mathematical genius, and he goes nuts finding these patterns. So that is the basic premise, Nikhil. If you have not watched, make it a point to watch this.
Yes, I
This is
will
another
see this.
movie.
I have seen Coherence, but I will see the Spy. I have not
Mm.
seen it. Definitely, I'll
Yeah,
look it up.
why? There's a director called Darren Aronofsky, makes
Mm.
out of the box movies. There's a second movie of his called The Fountain, which I started but I couldn't finish it. Maybe I was not matured enough at that point to understand what he's trying to say. But Fountain is really slow paced and probably a
Okay.
little bit of spiritual movie. So maybe I have to get around watching that one. But Pi definitely I would recommend in out of the box. And I would also recommend Christopher Nolan's 3 minute short film called Doodlebug. Mind blowing stuff. So these I think
Definitely, I'm
movies
watching
make.
it
Okay,
tonight.
there is one comment coming in from Anish. Guys, one out of the box movie I think which I recently saw was The Menu. The Menu. Okay, Anish, just tell me in case I'm right or wrong. Either ways, I think this is a movie where there is a Michelin star chef or something, and there are a lot of rich people who go on a yacht or somewhere on an island to taste various dishes made by the chef, something like that. And it has some social commentary also in the background. Is this the movie you're referring to? I know there is a 6 second latency, so we'll just have to wait for Anish to respond. But most likely, that is the movie. Ah, yes, Private Island. पे आते हैं. Yeah, I have watched that movie. Yes, Nikhil, this I think is a good suggestion. There's a movie called The
The
Menu.
menu, is it? Okay. I'll see
Yeah,
this. Let's see.
so this
Okay.
is also social commentary, which you'll eventually realize.
Okay.
Very out of the box, very apt for this segment. So Anish, thanks for that suggestion. Yes, I watched this movie.
Perfect.
Yes, so I think we have equal amount of movie obsessed people in our
Yeah,
chat box, right?
absolutely. So these are the very good suggestions that have come, and so many movies that I have not seen. Definitely, I'll see this. Pie and the menu
Perfect.
that I have to see. Okay.
Yeah, Pi again, the end is on a different level. Even with this
Okay.
movie called Menu, how the
Yeah,
movie built Nikhil at
I'll
some
definitely
point,
see it.
hooks you out at some point.
Okay.
You can definitely give it a try. I know your choice of movies.
Absolutely.
This is a movie which might impress you.
Okay. I'll definitely see.
Great, fantastic. So I think at least we are done with all the segments.
Yes.
So what we'll do is we will maybe wait for our viewers to maybe suggest one or two movies if they want to discuss, if any. Or Nikhil, you being the guest, the privilege is all yours. Do you have one or two movies before we wrap up?
Mm, in I would say
Think about it
one
till
single
then.
movie which comes to my mind is do watch Maharaja. If you are not Maharaj, if you are not seen, that's something
Hmm.
which immediately comes to my mind. Apart from that, yes, go and watch Gunda. If you have not seen, definitely you should watch it.
Oh my
And
God, 7.4 on IMDb. I'm still not able to wrap my brain around that
yes,
fact.
true. And definitely watch Shutter Island, because people who have not seen Shutter Island, it's one of the best
Yeah,
movies
Shutter
ever.
Island for sure, no doubt about it. There are movies like, as Nikhil suggested, other movies, I mean, out of the box ones.
Yes,
Yeah, Ugly is one, I think, Nikhil. Very good suggestion.
yes,
Definitely
yeah, yeah.
must. Worth
Ugly
watching.
was a,
Anurag Kashyap.
but I must say that the ending way may give you comes some kind of
Hmm.
chilling effect. So guidance
Ugly,
kind
right?
of you, yeah, ugly. Yes,
Hmm. Definitely. See, these are gut wrenching movies. Even Maharaja,
yeah,
if you
gut
see in the
wrenching,
end,
gut wrenching, completely gut wrenching.
yeah,
Yes,
seriously.
yeah,
Then yes, we have other movies from Christopher Nolan. There is the Prestige. Wow, what a movie!
yeah. Superb. It was one of
Prestige
the
is
few
one.
movies that
Definitely
came
ranks
very,
right up there.
somewhere around 2000s, I think, if I'm not wrong. The Prestige,
Hmm.
when I saw that movie, it in 2000s
Yeah, yeah.
only,
I think
that movie
it's a
came.
2006 release.
Yeah, yeah.
I may forget something in my profession, but I won't forget this. It's a 2006 release, and we can
It
also we
is.
can also mention Quentin Tarantino, another director we have to mention, right?
Yeah.
All his movies, right from Pulp Fiction, be it Reservoir
Kill Bill.
Dogs, there is Glorious Bastards,
Kill Bill.
Kill Bill, Volume One, Volume Two, path-breaking movies. Even
Yeah.
the one with Leonardo DiCaprio, Django Unchained. What a
Django
great
Unchained.
movie!
Oh my God. Seriously,
I think
that
Quentin
movie is
Tarantino
something.
class apart.
The kind of blood which comes out when somebody shoots, touch, 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 touch.
Even
Superb movie.
Hateful Eight. There is a movie called Hateful
Yeah.
Eight, which I watched in theater.
Yeah, yeah,
First
I've seen it. It's a brilliant movie.
first half extremely slow.
Yeah.
Second half, it's like और कितने लोग मरने वाले हैं? It's like
Yeah.
that. और
They
कितना
get
खून
stuck
बहने
in,
वाला है?
they get stuck somewhere, yeah, right? It's snowing,
Yeah,
the weather is bad, and they
there's
get
a
stuck.
blizzard happening.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
blizzard. Yeah, yeah.
they get stuck in that. And first half extremely slow. So there are a lot
Yeah.
of racist undertones in that movie. And
Yeah.
second half is like और कितने लोग मरने वाले हैं? How much more bloodshed are we going to have? It's like that.
Absolutely.
Goes to different level. So yeah, Anis says Prestige. People don't talk enough about it. I couldn't agree more. Two magicians. Again, ending brilliant as usual. Christopher Nolan. Yes, Tarantino's movies are gory as hell. I would agree, but I am somebody who doesn't have a problem with gore. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Now I don't know whether I should venture into this territory, but there is this franchise called the Saw franchise, which is a different territory altogether. That I somehow could not withstand. I saw bits and pieces from Saw 1 or 2. One of my colleagues showed it to me. And I'm like, nahi boss, ye nahi chahiye. So I think let's better not go there. Django Unchained, completely agree. Another fantastic movie. Leonardo DiCaprio. And that guy from Inglourious Bastards, he won 2 Oscars for supporting actor.
Yeah.
Name. Ah, how can I forget his name? The one who won.
I
supporting
forgot
actor
his
also.
name as well. Yeah, 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 yeah. He's
Inglorious
there in
as well
so
as
many
Jack
movies.
Bauer.
Inglorious
Yeah.
Bastard. He was there, and he's one of the
Oh,
topmost actor, man.
at least in Inglorious Bastard, standout performance. Standout performance as the
Super.
Nazi soldier. Standout
In the
performance.
beginning, in the beginning, he comes to the farm and have the milk. That scene is that that makes you feel as if he's going to shoot somebody. That is something which comes to
Oh,
your mind.
we have the answer for that. Vishwas has
Christopher
responded.
Waltz.
Christoph Waltz,
Yes.
yes.
Christopher
Thank you,
Waltz.
Vishwas, for that.
Yes.
Christoph Waltz. Now I'll just scan through some of the other comments. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Now, this is another movie which has polarized audiences. I think Vishwas we
Yeah.
have on the chat who almost did like the movie. I completely agree. Pacing very slow. I will agree. I have not watched that movie in single go. I watched that movie in parts. But very few
This is
people
that
like this
movie
is
which you when you have a stunt double and that stunt double is there, right? I think
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Brad Pitt is there in that movie. I've seen that movie. Yes. Okay.
And actually, that is inspired by a true story which happened in Hollywood. There was
Hmm.
not exactly a serial killer, but people who influenced people to kill others. There was a guy named Charles Manson. Now we
Yeah.
are delving into dark space with Charles Manson. But and Christopher Nolan has changed the ending. I think ending is
Yeah.
kick-ass. I love the ending, the way he's twisted it. Good morning, sir. I think somebody wants us to wrap up. It's already 11. This is probably a sarcastic comment. I'm not sure. Let me just clear up all the comments. Talk about Final Destination. Yeah, Final Destination I've watched. In fact, as a teenager, one of my favorite franchises. I
Yeah.
think this is the part one. They miss their flight and they see that
Yeah.
flight being exploded,
Yeah.
right?
That is the
And they
first
feel
one.
they have cheated death. Yeah, that is the first one. They feel they have cheated death, and then
Yeah.
they start dying one after the other in some weird ways. But I think the franchise lost steam towards the later parts, right? Then it became
Yeah,
quite
yeah. I think
repetitive.
after the second part, even the second part was something you could have digested. After the three, you
Oh, sorry,
knew that what is
sorry,
going
sorry.
to happen. So after the
Hmm.
second part, you knew what is going to happen, and then people lost kind of that. I would say charm of
Yeah,
connect,
agreed.
and yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
thing
I
was
think it became a little bit of an overdose. I think first,
yeah,
second parts were good, but I
yeah,
think later on, probably, it lost steam.
yeah, yeah. True.
Yes. Okay. So I think, guys, we have already hit 1 hour 32 minutes mark.
Yes.
So I think a special shout out to all the viewers who joined in and kept us busy with their comments. So thank you guys so much for your contribution. Definitely, we appreciate that. It made the discussion much more lively, right? And yes, I think we have to make a sequel for this, Nikhil.
Yes,
Probably
absolutely.
something on TV series and web series. We should do that.
Yes,
So yes,
absolutely.
guys,
Absolutely.
it's already 11. I think Nikhil is also getting late. He's a very parivarik person, a family man. So he has other commitments as well. So let's not hold him back for long. But we'll try to come back with a sequel. So yes,
Yeah.
guys, thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much, Nikhil, for being on the episode. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
As
Okay.
I think we should sign out in a movie fashion. So as Terminator, I think Arnold Schwarzenegger says in Terminator 2, "Hasta la vista, baby,"
That's the
before he kiss with
that's
the
the
shotgun. Hasta la
yes.
vista, baby.
That's the
Thanks, guys. See you in the
Thank you
next
so
episode.
much. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you.